What's going on, guys? It's MekelKasanova coming at you with yet another banging video. I didn't mean to do it like that. But anyway, it's MekelKasanova. This is another banging video. This is going to be a video review of one game that I think is really phenomenal right now. And it's called the Coma Recut. Now, this is from Diggerati. If you guys are familiar with them, they've come out with a lot of bangers for the Nintendo Switch and other platforms, including one that I'm going to be reviewing pretty soon, and that's called Slain. And I'll get to that shortly. You guys just stay tuned to the channel, ding that bell, subscribe, and you'll know when it's coming. But other than that, this game is amazing. And it's one that you got to go into it with the right mindset of understanding you're not going to be able to attack any of the enemies that are going to come after you, especially that one psychopathic killer that's going to be coming to try and you can't attack. So once you accept that reality, you're fine. But other than that, I really enjoyed the game. And here's a review of the Coma Recut for Nintendo Switch and other platforms. Roll the intro.
Next generation of great. I'm the next generation of great. I'm the next generation of great. The next generation of great.
It should be noted that Coma Recut is a remaster of the original Korean horror game, The Coma, Cutting Class. Something I haven't personally played, so bear with me. The game puts you in the shoes of Young-ho, a struggling high school student who stayed up too late studying for exams, and as a result of that is running late to school. Once you get to there, an ambulance takes one of your classmates away after a suicide attempt. It's horrible enough on its own, but you'll still have to sit for your exams. Young-ho then pulls off one of the dumbest things you can do when taking exams and falls asleep during the test. It blows my mind. Anyway, Young-ho then, once he wakes up, it's all dark. He begins to explore, wondering how they just let him sleep through his tests, which, that's a great question that I'm, as the gamer who playing this game, am asking myself. So, he soon finds his homeroom teacher, Miss Song, who happens to have a huge crush on him. He has a major crush on her. I mean, you look at her, I don't blame him. I would have a crush on her too. She's fire. Anyway, Miss Song is, different than usual. She has less of her normal, hey, I'm worried about your math scores dialogue, and more like, along the lines of, hey, get over here. I want to carve you up with this damn knife. Something to that effect. Forcing Young-ho to run for his life. He's stuck in a hellish version of his high school with no idea how to escape. The Coma Recut aims to not only tell a mysterious horror story, but also show how cruel the pressure is put on Korean students can be. The game's story gets into the horror territory fairly quickly and really doesn't let up from there. You'll have to explore a twisted version of the high school while trying to find a way out, and occasionally deal with your classmates and some unknown people as well. The story premise is actually pretty close to Corpse Party, if you guys haven't played that. Or if you have, you would understand more of how this game is going. If you ever played that, except the Coma Recut doesn't build up Young-ho's relationships with his classmates nearly as well. Instead, they're relegated to genre stereotypes of a token jock, a token nerd, token girl from Young-ho who also, has a crush on. However, the premise is interesting, and then the story itself, while not explaining that well in actual interaction or dialogue, is fleshed out quite a bit by collectible notes. You can find them around the school. Like I said earlier, the plot for 4 hours, it doesn't carry itself that well, but there are some good things. I mean, especially if you read the collectible notes, you'll be able to get engrossed in the game. I honestly just wish the game had more actual meat to the people Young-ho interacts with, instead of just relying on the lore and premise that the game provides. The 2D art style of this game is interesting and well rendered for a game of this genre. One of my favorite little details about the game is that the save stations are the chalkboards, mostly consisting of simple fetch quests. The Coma Recut sends Young-ho through the same floors over and over again, exploring the former high school is fairly simple. Young Ho walks around and explores rooms to find locations or items that advance the story. Of course, while you're doing this, you're bound to be found by the monster and get chased, which will often require that you return to hiding places scattered around the school, running and dodging a nifty forward tumble that will save your life. Notate that, it will save your life. And it will drain your stamina. So you'll need to keep an eye on that as well as you play. And that's all there is to the game. There's no option to fight here. So exploration and running for your life are all you really can do. You also find money to buy items that restore your health and stamina, as well as recover your status. Some enemies can poison you or make you bleed, but that's about it. That's about all there is for the gameplay. The 4 hours are way too long to be carried by the fetch quests, but that's, again, all there is. Even though a killer is chasing Young Ho, most of the time it suffers from the same weakness. The killer gets boring as soon as it's used too much. So that's something that if this gets a sequel, it could be improved upon. Like most horror games, the Coma Recut is much about atmospheric music. Off-tone notes and deep foreboding thumps here and there. They do a great job of making you think twice about moving forward, and honestly, probably made this game last longer for me than it should have. When you get found, the music ramps up to a frantic pace that really gets your heart pumping. I also happen to really like the safe room music, an off-key supermarket tune. As you may expect from an indie title, there's no voice acting. Instead, all the dialogue is just done with text boxes at the bottom of the screen, accompanied with giant character portraits, which is fine, I don't mind that. In the end, the Coma Recut delivers a solid, albeit short 2D horror experience. However, the game as a whole suffers a bit from being a bit of a one-hit wonder in the gameplay department. And after being chased 7 to 8 times in a row, the 9th and 10th time just doesn't honestly scare you anymore. It started out strong with an interesting story and setups. It had great art and tense atmosphere. It loses its grip over the 4-hour-long campaign. And that's my biggest chief complaint. The constant repetition of the same quest design, same enemies, same hallways, it can't make the game interesting. Once I've seen everything, honestly, it's better than most indie horror games. I can say if you enjoy these survival horror games with, no fighting, and don't mind the repetitive gameplay, then the Coma Recut might be up your alley. So, hey, that's something. Check it out. That just about wraps up this video review of the Coma Recut for the Nintendo Switch and other platforms. I want to thank Diggerati for sending me this review code for this phenomenal game. I really enjoyed it. I think you'll really enjoy it too. And that's the main thing. As long as you enjoy the game, just enjoying games is what's important. And I think a lot of people lose sight of that. But as long as we can keep sight of that, we're all going to be fine. So until next time, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Deuces wild, too sweet, and be the elite. And I'll catch you on the next one.
Girl, you demand all the attention. Starry-eyed, maybe I need a new prescription. I see you on top of me, I'm having visions. While you spin it around, I'm getting dizzy, baby. Drop and roll,